Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, host of the Football History Dude podcast, right here on the Sports History Network. Now, before we jump into another sports history adventure, let me tell you about this episode's sponsor. We partnered with Rochester Sports Autographs, the largest JSA authenticated autograph distributor in the United States, where you can get deals on over 30,000 autographed sports collectibles. They even have film, music, and other entertainment autographs on the site, so there's something for everyone. Perhaps you're looking for a gift for Mother's Day, or maybe Father's Day. Heck, who needs a holiday as an excuse to give a piece of sports history to your loved ones? Or how about yourself? Today seems like a great day to add to your sports cave, right? But how is RSA able to offer such great deals on JSA authentication, you ask? Well, they do this by making deals directly with athletes, so there are no extra markups, and they choose to pass these savings on to the customer. All orders from Rochester Sports Autographs are top quality and shipped to your door with top authentication and money-back guarantee. And to make sure RSA knows that the Sports History Network sent you, we created a special link for you. All you have to do is head to shoprsa.com/SHN. Again, that's shoprsa.com/SHN. Head over there to get your piece of sports history today. This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com.
Hello, sports fans, and welcome to another edition of Yesterday's Sports on the Sports History Network. Last week, we talked about the 1971 Pittsburgh Pirates. Today, we're going to talk about how the Pirates did for the remainder of the decade of the 1970s. Although a players' strike caused the 1972 season to start a week and a half late, the defending champion Pittsburgh Pirates had another great season, finishing with the best record in the major leagues. On September 30th, Roberto Clemente reached his goal of getting 3,000 hits in his career. The Pirates would face the Cincinnati Reds in the National League Championship Series and held a 2-1 lead. They lost the fourth game, but were 3 outs away from another National League pennant in Game 5 when the Reds scored 2 runs to win it, and the Pirates' season was over. It was a tremendous disappointment for the team, but it paled compared to what happened 2.5 months later when Roberto Clemente died in a plane crash. His death affected the team so much that they finished the 1973 season with an 80-82 record. They bounced back in 1974 with another trip to the National League Championship Series, but they lost to the Los Angeles Dodgers 3-1, and in 1975 they would lose to the Reds again. The Pirates finished the 1976 season with a 92-70 record, but the Phillies finished 9 games ahead of them. A few months later, their longtime manager, Dan Murtaugh, died of a stroke at only 59 years old. The Pirates had good seasons in 1977 and 1978, but again finished second in their division, behind the Philadelphia Phillies. One bright spot was that outfielder Dave Parker won the National League MVP in 1978. Led by manager Chuck Tanner, the Pirates finished the 1979 season with a .605 winning percentage, their second best record in the last 19 years. The team didn't have an overpowering pitching staff, but they did the job. John Candelaria led the staff in wins with 14, and Kenton Tekkelv had the lowest ERA at 2.75. First baseman Willie Stargell led the team in home runs with 32. Outfielder Dave Parker hit 25 home runs, led the team in RBIs with 94, and had a batting average of .310. Outfielder Bill Robinson belted 24 home runs, while third baseman Phil Gardner batted .293. Shortstop Tim Foley and center fielder Omar Marino also batted close to the .300 mark. Marino played in all 162 games and led the National League in stolen bases with 77. Third baseman Bill Matlock, acquired in a midseason trade, batted .328. The Pirates faced their old nemesis, the Cincinnati Reds, in the National League Championship Series for the fourth time in 10 years. They swept the Reds and would now face the Orioles in a rematch of the 1971 World Series. The only two players remaining from that 1971 team were the 35-year-old Manny Sanguillen, now the backup catcher, and the 39-year-old Willie Stargell, the team leader, affectionately called Pops by his teammates. After 4 games, the Pirates trailed 3-1. But this was a close-knit team that banded together like a family. In fact, their theme song was "We Are Family" by Sister Sledge. The next 3 games were no contest as Pittsburgh outscored the Birds 15-2 to win their 5th World Series trophy. Willie Stargell won the Series MVP award and the National League MVP. Pirate fans have not had much to cheer about in the last 43 years, making it to the playoffs only 6 times and losing every time. But during the decade of the 1970s, the Pirates were a team to be reckoned with. That will conclude our podcast for today. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care and God bless.
This podcast is part of the Sports History Network, your headquarters for the yesteryear of your favorite sport. You can learn more at sportshistorynetwork.com. Hey there, sports history fan. This is Arnie Chapman, aka the Football History Dude, and I hope that you enjoyed this recent episode presented by the Sports History Network and were able to learn some good old-fashioned sports history knowledge nuggets. I started the Sports History Network back in 2020 with the mission to help podcasters find a community of like-minded sports history nerds, as well as helping aspiring podcasters to start their own shows. We have a little bit over 30 shows on the network right now covering all sorts of sports history, but as far as I'm concerned, we're just at the toothpick in the ocean moment, that can't even figure it out because there's so much more coming. We wanted to create the ultimate headquarters for sports yesteryear, starting with Podcast Network and our website, but we're going to continue to move into other mediums as well. And here's the cool part, because we want you to be part of our team. So if you're interested in starting your own podcast, or maybe being a guest on one of our shows, or who knows, maybe even writing an article for us over on the website. Seriously, all you gotta do is reach out to us on the contact page over at sportshistorynetwork.com. You can be as technologically savvy as a Neanderthal tapping on a stone trying to figure out this whole hieroglyphics thing back in the day. Again, it doesn't matter, because even if you don't understand the whole podcast space, we have a production team that can pretty much help you out with doing everything. All you gotta do, head over to sportshistorynetwork.com, head to the contact page, fill it out. That message goes right to me, and I'll reach out to you as soon as I can. But for now, dude, I'm through if you're through.